I want to kind of touch on um, love, relationships, and you creating your own family.
Yeah.
Um, so if, even just kind of within you telling the story we just heard, there was just moments where it was like, you spoke to your missus about this, and we decided. So
Big
it
up
sounds,
Caroline. Big up
yes,
Caroline King.
big up Caroline every time. Um, it sounds like that support is there. It sounds
Yeah.
like you are the two of you are moving in the same direction
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
as a unit. How
Yeah.
important is that to you?
For me personally, it's
Hmm.
fundamental.
Hmm. Go deeper.
Not having that isn't an option. It's not an
Hmm.
option. Because like for me, one thing I'll say is if I'm doing something, I'll say to her, look, this is this thing, let me read it to you. Or I'll perform something. What do you
Hmm.
think?
Hmm.
If she says yes, for me, I'm like, cool. I can now go and take on the world.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? That's how powerful for me the support from her is. It makes me feel like, as impossible as this thing is, if she has my back, it's already done.
Hmm.
It's already done. I recognize that.
It's a beautiful thing. All right, how did you meet your missus? Where did you meet?
Uh, the same part-time drama school that I mentioned earlier. So when I went there, she had started before me. So we met doing that because she's also an actor, and as well as a solicitor, but she's also an actor. So that's where we met. We were friends at first, and then she put on me, and the rest is history. No, we're friends at first, and I think, if I'm honest, it developed organically.
Yeah.
It developed organically.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because we had like many things in common. Her
Hmm.
dad also raised 4 children.
Wow.
You know, so we have a lot in common. Wait, was it 4 or 3? 3. I think it's
Hmm.
3. But her dad was like, and they look similar as well. So when I saw a picture, I was like, what? So, along
Hmm.
with other things, we had a lot in common, and a great passion for acting. You
Hmm.
know.
And then so now you've embarked on the journey of you've got 2 children, right?
Yeah. 2 little boys. 2 little
So
boys.
how are you finding the um that journey of fatherhood? What I mean by that is obviously like just like because I'm obviously about to embark.
Yes.
I think 3 months time I got my little daughter on the way, you
Congratulations.
know? Yeah, thank you, my bro. So I spend a lot of time just thinking about you know, are those fatherhood lessons that I'm gonna be able to impart on my child? Are they gonna just organically come out, or are they
Mm,
things that you thought about before that
mm.
the opportunity presents itself and you're like, oh yeah, this is a moment where I can teach them X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just curious about how your experience with your father and the lessons you learned from him now
yeah.
are are they now you able to now identify things that you do with your children, lessons or just whatever the word I'm trying to think of that you do with
Mm.
your children that directly come from experiences with your father?
Yeah, I think a lot a lot of the dynamics between me and the children are from me and my dad, I would say.
Hmm.
And my mum actually. Because what I didn't mention is that my mum and
Yeah.
dad got back together years
Okay.
after. And
Hmm.
we had like a long period of time together before she passed. And
Yeah.
like the dynamics between, well, my dad mostly, but both my parents, they influenced how I interact with my children every day.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? There is this. unbelievable drive that both of them have, like a inability to quit. That's something that I try and impart onto them all the time. So if my son is trying to do something, he's like, no, I can't. Say to him, no, you can. You can do anything. Do you know what I mean? You can do anything you put your mind to, and really understanding the importance of investing those kind of principles onto them, giving them the courage to move forward in fear, allowing them to understand that it's okay to fail, but also having discipline, like being able to discipline them in a way where they start to gradually understand right from wrong, you know, or no, let me put that a different way, because people's interpretations are different. To understand what good character is, to understand what having good character is, and why that is important in how they conduct themselves and how they interact with other people.
The word love. And when I say love, I know love is a multifaceted thing. You can have love for your children, you can have love for your parents, siblings, friends. I'm talking about romantic love with your partner in life. What does define that for me as best you can?
Intimacy.
Define that. What do you mean?
Being able to share laughter, tears, successes, like the little things that the two of you have that other people don't, other people might not see. That private handshake, that private thing, that gesture that you might do to each other, making up after a really bad fight, because you understand that there's history before that fight happened. And also the pain. I think maybe people don't say this enough, that love is painful, because it's all encompassing. And if you're not willing to accept the pain, then maybe that love might not last, because that's part of it. I don't think it's separate. In my opinion, I don't think it's separate to it. I don't think that is like, if you think of love as being a circle, I don't think those are the moments where you're falling out of it. I think those are just the different shades within that circle. Do you know what I mean?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, but the intimacy, and that can be a touch. That can be like you've had an argument and you've gone away. Let's say you've gone downstairs, you've gone to a different room, or you've even gone outside and you're waiting outside to see whether she comes out. Do you know what I mean? Or that doesn't happen, then the next day you might just feel a hand on your shoulder, and that in itself, just the dialogue that is within those very, very small moments, you understand, and then you're back to being balanced. You've got your equilibrium back.
Powerful. Need one book recommendation.
Oh, okay. Anything?
Yeah, listen, I'm at the moment just to as I like to do, I'm a bit of an egomaniac, so I like to bring most things back to speaking about myself. But at the moment, I'm reading Angela Davis' book called Women, Race and Culture. Obviously now I'm thinking I'm having a daughter. I kind of need to maybe clue myself up a bit more on just black women's perspective on things. So I've invested in a few books that I'm slowly running through. So yeah, and then but also in the same bundle of books, I bought Jay-Z's book Decoded that my friend recommended to me. So yeah, one of my favorite novels that I've read is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Okay.
So like I'm up for anything.
I've got an amazing recommendation for you.
Um,
Children of Blood and Bone. Have you heard or read that?
no, I'm sure I've heard someone mention that to me before.
It's on another level. Children of Blood and Bone.
Okay. Is that a novel or is?
It's it's a fantasy novel. It's by Nigerian African American woman, and her name is Adeyemi. You know what? Hold on. I've got the second part of it. Let me just get that.
You say you still got the basketball hops, yeah?
Yeah. Tommy Adeyemi. This is the second part, which is called Children of Virtue and Vengeance. But Tommy Adeyemi, she's a Nigerian heritage American woman that's written two books in a series of 3. And the first is called Children of Blood and Bone, and she's got a third that I think is going to come out soon. It's amazing. It's amazing.
No,
It's like,
I
I don't want to compare it to Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter because it's different. But if you're familiar with that, it's like that for us set in Nigeria.
Yeah, okay.
And the woman's a genius. She's a genius. It's really.
No, I'm feeling that. Because obviously, you know, it's one of them rest in peace moments, you know what I mean? Chadwick Boseman died. So it is kind of like that was a Black Panther was a story that I'm almost a bit disappointed that I missed out on as a young person, because maybe something you didn't know, or maybe you did know, that I was in school, especially, I was into comics.
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
But I was a comic snob. So I only dealt with X-Men. So X-Men was my thing. And the reason it became my thing, exclusively my thing, was because I heard that the 2 factions of the mutants were based on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So when I heard that Professor Xavier was Martin Luther King and Magneto was Malcolm X, and Malcolm X was the first adult book that I ever read at the age of, I don't know, 13, 14. So
on the bus, right?
Yeah, so I used to read it that was what I used to do on the bus every day on the way to school and on the way home. Before I had friends, because I moved to Enfield, so I was just literally on the bus. I should read this book. So I was just obsessed with X-Men. I should spend all my spare money. There used to be a shop in Seven Sisters, I think Krypton Comics, that I used to go and spend literally all the money I had on comics, right? And I think that the Black Panther situation is something I just didn't know existed. If I'd known at that time, I probably would have just been all over that. But I think that I think even just that story there was an amazing, that production, that film, his performance in it. And for me, even more, the visuals of it was amazing, don't get me wrong. But for me, the writing on that film, I feel like it's one of those things that I could listen to as a audiobook. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The amount of the quotes in that film that kind of send chills up my spine sometimes. As somebody who loves to write and is obsessed by words and annoys my missus every day with being the most pedantic person you'll ever meet in your life, not wanting any confusion about what you're actually saying, you know, like so I feel like I'm very obsessed with dialogue and speaking. That's kind of why this is perfect for me as well, where I just love to kind of speak and listen to perspectives and find some weird way to relate it back to my life. So yeah, I don't know how I got into that, but
You asked for a recommendation of a book.
Yeah,
And I
so the
said
book,
that,
yeah, that book there is a great recommendation, and I really do think that I think I will copy it. I get paid Friday, so I might just buy it Friday.
no, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Reading it, I'm like, so you have the whole thing, which is good, and then you
Mhm.
have the individual pages, which obviously has story on it, and you'll have like a paragraph, and it's amazing. I'm like, you've written all that just for this one paragraph, and then it continues, and you've got more. So it's what I'm trying to say in a less convoluted way is that
Mhm.
for me, reading it, I'm fascinated and amazed by how much skill has gone into every single line.
Wow.
I'm like,
Okay.
what?
Wow.
Just the descriptions of certain things, and just it's definitely
Sounds
right.
sounds like a masterpiece. I'm involved. I'm
And
involved.
let me know what you think after.
I will do. I will do. Got another question for you.
Go on.
Um, take yourself back to your son's your oldest child, right?
Yeah.
Right. So your wife has just given birth to your first child,
Mm-hmm.
and you're standing there holding your child,
Mm.
and then you, from today, travels back in time and gets to have a conversation with you at that moment. What do you say to him? What
Um,
advice do you give?
it's gonna be okay.
Mhm.
That's what I say. I'll say it's gonna be okay. That the weaknesses that you think you have,
Mhm.
he'll love you anyway, and you have time to work on them for him. You
That's
know,
powerful.
and also that everything that people say is true, because what people say to you is, congratulations, you're like, you don't know how much joy you're
Mhm.
going to receive from this. And I'll just say to myself, keep yourself steady and don't get overwhelmed by the love that you'll feel passing back and forth. That's what I'd say.
Deep, very deep indeed. Forgiveness.
Say again.
Forgiveness.
Uh-huh.
What is forgiveness to you?
Oh, what's forgiveness?
Hmm.
I think forgiveness is being able to let go of something
Hmm.
that someone's done to you, even if you don't quite understand,
Right.
even if you don't, in a funny way, even if you're not ready to say it's okay. It's almost like, what I mean by that, it's almost like to compare it to courage. You can't have courage unless there's fear to begin with. So courage isn't just being able to do something, it's
Hmm.
being able to do it in the face of that thing.
Yeah.
So forgiveness is that. And also, I think forgiveness is a true expression of love.
That's deep. That's interesting. I'm feeling your answer still. I've asked, I'd say at least 70, 80% of the podcasts that I've done. I think,
Mm.
I think, yeah, I've done over 20 now.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's very few that have made me think about how much I agree. And I know you know Bevan. So me and
Yeah.
Bevan talk all the time, and he describes me as being contrary. Like my first instinct is to disagree, find a way to disagree and get into that debate. right?
Yeah.
So,
Because you're
so
investigating. You want to investigate. You want to
yeah,
investigate.
right. So, but yeah, I think what you said there is very yeah, it's very thought provoking and it's very interesting, and I'd like to think I think I agree. So you've done well there.
I got myself a pat on the back.
Yeah, all of that. So what would you want to say to your what would you say to your children?
Yeah.
As in what how you either how you either and or how
Yeah.
you feel about them,
Yeah.
what you require from them,
Mhm.
and what you are willing to provide for them.
Okay. Okay. Um, that's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep. Okay. So I would say,
Hmm.
I would say to them that I feel that as full as I felt life was before they came, it elevated to a level whereby it then seems strange that them not being there didn't seem strange. Um,
Hmm.
the love that I have for them is so strong that it's overwhelming and it's scary, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Hmm.
Uh, I what I would require of them is to live life to the fullest, love completely. Um, don't let anyone tell them that they can't achieve anything, even themselves, even me, even their mum. Um, understand that the world is made up of a lot of lies, and not just the sinister type that we know about, not just the big things like racism, like very small ones as well. Small ones whereby you think, okay, um, I have to wait for other people to make this move, or things aren't done in a certain way.
Hmm.
You can be the revolutionary of everything, and the singular thing. And that's really, really, really important, because I think that oftentimes people hold on to what they believe or how they believe things should be. And when you come with something different, it's just, no, well, that's not possible. But once you do it, that then not only will that prove that particular argument wrong, but
Hmm.
those same people, those same naysayers will be like gravitating to it, saying, no, this is amazing. So I'll just be aware of that. What was the last one? One was what I required. Then what was the last one?
And what you are willing to provide or give to them.
Um, everything they need in order to be fully functioning themselves, everything they need to be autonomous individuals. So I will give them everything, but if everything that they need in order to be able to serve themselves, because I think that's my duty. If I am able to give them the tools they need in order to navigate through this world as fully functioning, confident, um, self-loving human beings, I've done my job. So part of it is I will hold their hand for the first 5 steps so they can take the rest of the steps themselves without falling, or falling and knowing that all they have to do is get back up,
Hmm.
and we'll cheer them along the way.
Powerful. Appreciative. Yeah, yeah, thank you, my bro. I don't know if there's anything else. What I will ask is I do wanna just quickly say, as far as your plays, is that are you putting that out again? is it something that is there any sort of link that you can provide to people that want to get in contact with you, for whether it's to find out how to see the play, whether it's to offer any opportunities they may have, or communicate with you in any sort of way?
Yeah. We've got a website that, to answer the first question, the play is definitely going to be on again. I'm not exactly sure when. We don't have the dates yet, but it's something that we will definitely be doing again, as well as the script, the playbook, the play text will be published very soon, hopefully. All that information you can get from www.forward-move.com. You know what? Whilst you're there, let me just make sure I'm giving the right website.
Do that. But also as well, when we finish, man, just send me the link. Either WhatsApp it or email it to me, and
Then you can
I'll
just
put it
on
in the
screen.
description.
Yeah, that's it. So www. The letter 4, ORWARD. So the letter 4 replaces the F -move.com, and that's the website, and all the updates will be able to put on there. And then I'm on Instagram. It's just my full name, Akpore Uzo. Facebook, same thing. And as things progress, I'll be putting stuff up there. There's another project that I've recently finished. They'll be going into production soon, and there'll be some. This is a short film, and there'll be some more info about that in the near future. And writing other projects, and ready to go to create, just ready to create and put more stuff out. And you know, now that things seem to be moving more, things are starting up. I'm you know, optimistic about the future and about art generally. And also just to pay respect and condolences to Chadwick Boseman's family and all the many people around the world that are grieving over his passing, which for me is profound and beautiful and painful all at the same time, because I know the reason why people are affected by it. You know, I can only imagine how people that know him feel. He led by example, you know, and it was a fantastic example that he set. And I feel like that life is a life worth living, for you to be able to leave and have left that footprint, but also to have touched so many people, like properly touched, not just because you're a star, because, you know, celebrity does that. It's I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's something a little bit deeper than that, you know, that connection. So yeah, man, big up to everyone, big love to everyone, and just wishing for strength and wisdom for all of you. Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
And we'll be celebrating with you when she comes, and
Agreed.
for all the other kind of some accomplishments that you set your mind to. Well done for this as well. I think this is amazing.
No, I appreciate you, man.
And now it's
appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
What I will say is thank you for providing too much information. And I just have a feeling this is something that's, to be fair, later on down the line, I'm going to be getting into doing some, like, it's going to be a debating platform. So we're going to pick a topic and we're going to go in on it. And, you know, I'll definitely be inviting people whose opinions that I respect to pick and choose which subjects they would like to be involved in. And so keep an eye out for that invite. And yeah, as I said, thank you. Love every time. Love to the missus, love to the kids, to the children, should I say. And yeah, we'll talk soon, man. It's been too long.
Definitely.
And but we'll definitely talk soon.
To go out and have some herbal tea.
Come on, all of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. And right the world's wrong. All right, my bro. Thank you so much again, man, and I'll talk to you soon, yeah?
No problem.
Love, man. Too much information, man. Big up.
Peace.
Peace, man.